Woo! 101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station, and Roadie's 2 at 2 for this Friday afternoon. The Doors, the end, and when the music's over, and it is the end, and the music is just about over, and this is my final show on 101 The Fox. Oh, while I'm talking on the radio, I'd love to autograph the shirt you've brought me here on stage at the Power and Light, the live stage here. We're going to be here all the way until 7 o'clock this evening. I actually don't know what's going on today. I am just up here on stage in a throne supplied by Crown Royal, one of my favorite liquids on earth, and I am signing T-shirts. The first 101 people that joined us this afternoon for my final Fox Friday show are getting T-shirts absolutely free. I think after that you have to purchase them, and I get absolutely none of the money goes to me. Believe me, this is radio. There you go, sir. Thanks for asking for my autograph. Oh, well, I don't know how many years it's been now. 23 years on 101 The Fox, 38 and a half years here in Kansas City, and it all comes to an end today at 7 o'clock. I expect what will happen today is there will be a host of people from my past that will show up, join me here on stage. They'll begin by telling very embarrassing stories about me, and then they'll tell a very nice story about me, sort of like a family pack of Sour Patch Kids. First they're sour, then they're sweet. We'll find out if that actually happens this afternoon. If you'll stick with me, we have plenty more music, lots of fun, and we'll try to figure out how to send me off in style, live from Kansas City's live stage, the Kansas City live stage here at Power and Light, until 7 o'clock, the final Fox Friday of me, Skid Roadie, here on 101 The Fox. We'll be right back.
One last party on the air.
To Skid, everyone! Raise them up! Cheers!
Goodbye, Skid. 101 The Fox.
101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station. Well, hell's bells, ding dong, the witch is dead. Today's my final day, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and a fine crowd is gathered here at the Power and Light Live District. Now, we are on stage here. Of course, these are all the people that just got here early for the free T-shirts.
Yes.
How do they fit? Are they quality T-shirts? Yeah, wait till you put them through the washing machine and the dryer one time. They'll fit your Barbies and your G.I. Joes after that. You'll enjoy them. Yeah, so I must have autographed 101 shirts because they were all absolutely free.
Not 102 shirts?
No one has purchased any shirts.
Okay.
Why would you purchase a shirt from a radio station? They've given away millions of T-shirts over the years. So
yes.
Enjoy your free T-shirt. I saw there's a Skid Roadie free beer T-shirt. That's from an old station. It's not just a T-shirt, it's a beer. And we actually had to go through a legal process of, I have rules on the back that were set out by the lawyers, and then I have my own rules. But if you wore that T-shirt to any place that I was, any bar, any restaurant, and you saw me, you could say, Skid, I bought your free beer shirt. Would you buy me a free beer?
Nice.
And then I would have to go to the bar, and I think it says domestic only because I didn't want to buy some kind of fancy-ass foreign beers for everybody. But I lost money on the deal, but it was a pretty cool promotional shirt. So then what I would do is I would buy you your beer, I would X out on the back that I had bought you the beer, and I would sign my name. So you got an autographed T-shirt and a beer.
And you got one beer. One beer.
Well, he just came up and said, your autograph from all those years ago was kind of worn out. Do you think? No.
There's no expiration date. Sorry. Nice try.
I could still read it. But
nice try.
I re-signed this shirt on the shoulder, and I put today's date just to show I've been thoroughly updated. Joined on stage here by the guy that I've probably known longer that I've seen here than anybody else in Kansas City. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Garrett, the long-time, part-time host here on every Saturday morning on 101 The Fox, and of course also on Sunday morning as well. And when did you actually start doing radio in Kansas City?
I think it was 1879.
I believe that's right, because I got here in 1890.
Yes. No, I actually started at Q104. It was top 40.
Wow.
1978. So starting next month will be my 44th year on the radio. Like a crazy fool idiot.
and how come I'm retiring and you're not? What happened?
I was going to talk to you about that. Seriously.
We have a 2-room apartment. You can come by and stay.
Please.
And so then I got here when I met you. Now, your dad was a famous guy in Kansas City.
Oh.
He was.
Yeah. Not really.
Albert Bell.
Well, that was my grandfather.
Oh, it was your grandfather?
My grandfather.
Albert Bell used to sell all the appliances.
Yeah.
There was one up in Liberty, I remember, was the one that was close to
6 locations, yeah, it was all over the place.
So
It was kind of cool.
So growing up, you always had the finest in washers and dryers. And
We had the first microwave oven. It wasn't called a microwave. It was what was it called? It was a
space range,
something like that.
An Amana radar range.
It was a radar range. Yeah.
Yeah, the Amana radar range was famous.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, it was so overbuilt. It had 4 inches of solid lead between you and the food, just in case you could possibly get harmed by it.
That was cool.
So now, tell me a story about me. That's what you guys are here for. We invited you to tell stupid, horrible stories about me, and then tell a nice story about me.
This isn't a roast. This is to send this man off with our blessings, with our love, and say we are going to miss you. You know, Skid and I were together at KY 102. Right? Am I right? They moved Randy Rayleigh from nights to afternoons, and they found this guy in Albuquerque, New Mexico. By the way, this is Terry, Skid's wife. I hope you all know Terry. So we spent, oh my gosh, I was at KY from 1980 to 1990. How long, when did you get there? What year did you get there?
I got there August of 82.
82, so we spent 8 years there. And I was the first to migrate from KY 102 over to 101 to Fox, and that was back in 1990. That's when I started doing the Kansas City Blades hockey team.
Right.
So I've really been the guy that has been doing hockey in Kansas City, the only guy almost, for the last 31 years. But I moved over to 101 The Fox in 1990. You soon followed, and then Slacker followed us afterwards. It's like monkey see, monkey do. So everybody came over, and, the rest is history.
All right, so now, who is the number 2 hockey guy in Kansas City? Is there even anybody that's coming up behind you?
I figured up in 31 years, I think I've done the PA for 2,000 hockey games.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Every once in a while, because of my day job, I have to miss, and we have a fill-in person that will come in and do it, but, I've been really kind of the main guy for last 31 years.
2,000 hockey games. That is a lot of lost teeth. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Garrett joining us here at the Kansas City live stage at Power and Light for my swan song, my farewell appearance. Please come join us until 7 o'clock. Drinking afterwards, music afterwards. More music now on Kansas City's 101 The Fox. On the Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station. It's been such a long time. Nearly 39 years I've been working in Kansas City on the radio, and today is my final day. I am Skid Roadie, and I'm live here at Kansas City Live Stage inside the Power and Light District with a host of fans wearing a T-shirt that bears my name. That makes me feel so good.
And an autograph.
And, yes, and I autographed every one of those T-shirts, so they are all worth equally the same. $0.00. You're not making anyone. Steve Garrett joining me one more time here. You said you had to say something?
I don't know if you all see this, but look at this, a chair befitting of a retiree from radio. The big throne, purple velvet. Isn't this nice?
I didn't get the gold watch. I got the gold Crown Royal brocade here.
There you go. I just wanted to say, and I think I echo everything for everybody here this afternoon, please come down and join us till 7 o'clock tonight. We are going to miss you, buddy. We love you. We love you both.
Give me a big hug. I don't know what hugs sound like on the radio, but that's a good hug.
That's it. But
Steve Garrett, ladies and gentlemen.
We are going to miss you. I hope all the best for you guys. Enjoy your retirement and have a great time. You're the only smart one here on the air.
Well, thank you for coming out today, sir. A pleasure.
You bet.
All these decades.
All the best, my friend.
Steve Garrett, ladies and gentlemen, coming up, another long classic rock block. We're also going to hear the 4 o'clock haircut at the top of the hour. All part of the final Fox Friday with me, Skid Roadie, here at the Power and Light live stage on 101 The Fox next.
Fox fanatics, stay connected to 101 The Fox. Hear us live at the Fox app. After all the years, we are saying goodbye to Skid Roadie.
I love you, Skid!
101 The Fox.
I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take
KCFX Harrisonville. It's 3 o'clock and time to hunt down 3 songs in the same vein. It's My 3 Songs. 101 The Fox.
Shall we play a game?
We always play a game at 3 o'clock every weekday afternoon. It's called My 3 Songs, and you can't play if you don't have a telephone. So here's how to play. Text my name, Skid, to the number 68255. I'm going to give you 3 multiple-choice answers as to what the next 3 songs have in common that I'm about to play you. Today's answers are A, goodbye, B, goodbye, or C, goodbye. Only one of those is the correct answer. A, goodbye, B, goodbye, C, goodbye. You'll have to pick the right goodbye. And if you pick the right one, you could win a fabulous Fox prize as the winner of today's final Fox Friday, My 3 Songs. Here's song number 1 on 101 The Fox.
It's Skid Roadie's My 3 Songs.
Here's song number 2 on 101 The Fox.
The Fox with song number 3. Text Skid to 68255. That's Skid to 68255 with your answer to today's My 3 Songs with Skid Roadie on 101 The Fox.
101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station, and My 3 Songs for this Friday afternoon. The final Fox Friday live at the Kansas City live stage here at the Power and Light District with me, Skid Roadie. My final performance in Kansas City forever. Did you get it? Did you figure it out? Did you understand what those last 3 songs had in common? I gave you 3 multiple choice answers. Answer A was goodbye. Answer B was goodbye. And answer C was goodbye. The answer was B, goodbye. Yeah, if you tried A or C goodbyes, those didn't work. Only if you guessed B are you eligible for today's prize, and you would be the winner of today's My 3 Songs. Coming out, please do. We're here till 7 o'clock. I see more of my friends showing up. There's Red Leg Snyder, famous baseball ace. That's Ken Snyder. He used to work with us for years and years. Folks, remember Ken Snyder on 101 The Fox? There he is. He's aging nicely. Who else did I see? I saw Bill Newman was here, Snyder. Bill Newman was here earlier. I don't know, he might still be inside there. Bill Newman was the guy who didn't hire me. He's like, oh yeah, I know. I made that. That was a mistake on my part. So basically, but Bill's a big fan, so that was nice. Gary's here. So be looking for all those guys inside. All the old guard is out. If you know me, if you've ever heard of me on the radio, please come by and join us this afternoon. Lift a glass. We'll toast together a little bit later. We're here till 7 o'clock. Then a live band live on stage this evening past 7 o'clock. But I'm only working till then. So if you want to see me work one more time, you got to get here. Coming up for you, well, we've got lots more this afternoon. All of my friends are here. I see Slacker is here. I'm going to have him come to the stage in just a little bit and tell terrible stories about me and then say something nice about me. Well, maybe we'll just get half of that done. We'll find out after these on Kansas City's 101 The Fox.
This is 101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock. And it sounds like this. This. And this.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at Jeremy Franklin Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom Peterson from Cheap Trick, and I'm here to wish Skid Roadie a great, successful retirement. Skid, what are you doing? Come on, we're still working. How old can you be?
101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station, Dream Police, Cheap Trick live from the final Fox Friday here at the Kansas City live stage at Power and Light. I'm Skid Roadie. I'm the guy that's retiring today after 39 years broadcasting here in Kansas City. Some people apparently have been listening to the show because they've shown up today and they're all hanging out here. wearing my T-shirts, singing my praises, taking pictures, hugging people, kissing babies, shaking hands. Here's a man that does that every morning. It's the Slacker.
Well, thank you, man. You know, you're King Midas today. You've got the
this is something.
big chair.
This is something you can get yourself absolutely free by only drinking 300,000 shots of Crown Royal Reserve.
You've drank a few shots over the years.
You know, it's Doug Medlock that got me drinking Crown as a shot, and then it's Bruce from the Buzzard Beach that when Crown Reserve first came out.
Yeah.
And that stuff is dangerously good.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's just so smooth.
You know, I'm not I'm a fan of just about anything that looks like iced tea. So I like, you know, some people are like, I don't know if I do Canadian whiskey. I'm American.
What?
I only drink a bourbon.
I like rye whiskey, and you know, Canada had a lot of rye up there when they were making whiskey, so I like that.
So we have a good crowd out here. Everybody's enjoying this, and of course, folks are invited to come on down. We've got the T-shirts, but we've got Marty Wall is here.
I saw Marty show up.
Marty Wall,
Yep.
And we've got I think Doug Medlock is going to be coming by.
You mentioned he would try that. Yes.
Jack goes to the movies.
Jack Posiger.
I think Jack is coming down. Wouldn't that should be fun? Maybe he'll talk about the Memorial Day weekend.
The blowouts.
Do you know, Skid and I had such a good time. Skid was such a professional. He always let me have my punchline. You and Marty, not so much.
Oh, Jack Posiger. It'd be good to see. I haven't seen him for a while. I talked to him on the phone, and he was asking me facts before he talked to you on the radio. He wanted to get his facts straight, make sure he knew exactly what his punchline should be.
So I had Max on, you know.
You did.
And Max was, you know, Slacker, I just don't remember, you know, all those, that time. It's been so many years. I don't remember. Well, did you even work at KY? I don't remember. He doesn't want to remember anything.
Well, I only worked with Max for like 5 months.
He said that you started off with the morning show, and he almost hired you in Chicago.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. Before I got to Kansas City, he was in Chicago, and then I got here, and then I can't remember if he was already in Denver and came back from Denver to work at KY. But he came up to me at some party after I'd been here maybe 6 months or a year, and he was like, "Man, do you know how close we were to hiring you in Chicago?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And of course, I had no idea, but inside I was just going.
You know, I was talking. We talked about this on my show earlier, but as a guy who grew up in Kansas City, I thought for sure, and I said this, Marty and I did this, but we would listen to you, and we were convinced that you had to be, at the time, you had to have been, you know, 40, 50 years old in 1982. You had this big voice. Powerful. And we would nerd out, and on his Buick Skylark, we would sit and listen to you, and we would listen for you to talk. We didn't even care about the music. It was listening to you. Wow. That's, and here we are. I get an opportunity to have been, you know, work with you in a couple of different times, and it's been awesome. It really has, man.
Well, you guys were total nerds back then.
Well, I think we still are nerds. I'm not sure. I mean, at least I am. I don't know about Marty, but I am.
It's funny you said that, because I was, at that time, 23 years old when I first started working for the old KY, and people always thought I was supposed to be older. Or people say, "Oh, I thought you'd be bigger. I thought you'd be fatter. I thought you'd..." One guy said, "I thought you'd have a mustache." One guy said, like, "How the hell do you hear a mustache in somebody's voice?" You know. So.
Well, you know, and I said this on my show, but what have you told everybody what you're planning? I mean, you've shared with you what you're going to do. You know.
Yeah, I mean, for at least the next year, my lovely wife Terry and I will be moving to Orlando, Florida, to be near our daughter. She works down for Disney, Walt Disney Company. Has been down there more than a decade now, and so we're gonna stay in Orlando, and then we're sort of gonna use that as our hub and kind of spoke out to the different cities. Sinclair said, our daughter said, "Dude, maybe you'd like St. Augustine, Florida. Sure. Maybe you'd like St. Petersburg, Florida." So we'll do all the Saints first, and then we'll...
Yeah, I like the Saints.
I don't think we're going to end up, in South Beach, Miami in thong bathing suits, but somewhere that is befitting our age and lifestyle.
We had a good time in Miami.
Well, we did.
And whatever that sushi place that we went to for the Super Bowl, that was a great place.
It was like 10-course, one of those Japanese meals were, it's just awesome stuff.
Business manager Debbie didn't want to pay for that. She thought that was a little bit expensive for us to try to...
Speaking of which, Debbie from HR is here, and I haven't filled out any forms yet.
You haven't turned in your library books, and you don't get to graduate until you do.
I did leave the key to my locker in my locker, so that's done.
Yeah.
But I still have my key card. I could probably still get in the station.
All right. Maybe we should go down there tonight.
Yeah.
Few more of these iced teas, and let's go party.
I got to get my 401k over to another. I got to get my Cobra health insurance. Oh my God! I'll wait for all that until next Monday or next Tuesday.
We're going to have Marty while he's here. We're going to have him come up, right?
Yeah. Let's play a little bit more music. We'll get Marty Wall up. Thank you, Slacker, for coming by saying hi this afternoon. Enjoy your iced tea or whatever that liquid
iced
is.
Tea. Yeah, it's Arnold Palmer, I think.
I didn't know iced tea made a whiskey. All right, ladies and gentlemen. After these, Marty Wall will join us here on the Kansas City live stage at Power and Light, my final show of ever here in Kansas City. It's the final Fox Friday with me, Skid Roadie, here on 101 The Fox. Rock out.
Audio Skid. 101 The Fox.
When the children of tomorrow dream away in the wind of change.
I am with you. 101 The Fox, Kansas City's classic rock station, Wind of Change. Scorpions. Well, there's a change coming in the afternoons on 101 The Fox, although I don't know what that change will be. The only change I know is that I will not be there anymore. Skid Roadie retiring today. My final show live here at the Kansas City live stage at Power and Light. We're here until 7 o'clock this afternoon. Somebody asked me to tell the story of how I got my name, Skid Roadie, and it's an old college fraternity nickname. I went to the University of Arizona in Tucson, and I joined the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, and we drank lots of beer, and we smoked lots of weed, and it was a wonderful time of my life. and I didn't go to school at all. I think my first semester I got 1 D in one class, and I just there were no other grades from any other classes. And then I came back the next semester and didn't get any grades in any classes. And so they finally asked me to leave. But in that 1 year, we had a lot of parties, and everyone had a nickname of some kind. And I got mine from an old Dan Daly movie where he played a vaudeville comedian named Skid Johnson. And he was a good comedian in vaudeville, and he had a wife, and he had a kid. And then poor Skid Johnson turned to the bottle. And he became a drunk, and he lost his wife, and he lost his kid, and I drank a lot. And my real name's Chris Toman, so they started calling me Skid Roman. So that was college. So then I get into radio, and I used Chris Toman as my real name on the air when I first started on AM radio in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on 61 KRKE, Kirky Radio in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then I got a job at they were forming a rock station. Same company, right down the next studio down the hallway. And it was going to be called 94 Rock, and they needed someone to work midnight to 6. Well, I was their man. I could stay up from midnight till 6, and I was still Chris Toman at that point. Then they said, well, you actually sound pretty good. Maybe we should use you from 6 till midnight. So I said, okay, I'm your man. I can do that. So 6 to midnight, they said, we're looking for a personality. We want a name. I said, well, my fraternity nickname in college was Skid Roman. And they said, well, there's another rock station in town, and the one guy that was on the other rock station, his real name was Rob Roman. So my program director at the time, Brother Peter Benson, said, well, what about Skid Roadie? I said, yeah. And that was, 40 years ago. So I've been Skid Roadie for 40 years. Started just as a drinking name in the University of Arizona in Tucson. Speaking of drinking, you still drink booze? What?
Hello?
Marty Wall, ladies and Marty Wall is
Oh,
joining
my God.
us. Oh,
Thank you.
You've heard his voice on every commercial, on every radio station and TV in your area. He is a fine voiceover worker and a former employee of the old 102. You did what was the name of the nighttime show you guys did?
Route 102.
Route 102.
Fondly remembered by absolutely no one. Thank you, everyone.
No.
Thank you very much.
By all the younger folks. You guys played all that radical new music.
Crazy stuff like R.E.M. and Elvis Costello.
The
and
Plimsouls.
when those people were young.
Guadalcanal Diary.
Exactly. Isn't this about you? I mean, I did drive 10 minutes to come here and see you, so enough about you, but anyway.
I'll turn my mic off and you tell a nasty story about me and tell a good story about me. Here's our latest Sour Patch Kid.
No, that's not the way it works. I did run into some former record reps who knew you and back in the day, knew us, and we had a lot of interesting stories as well. I do remember a few things about you. First of all, Skid got me, I was just a kid when I showed up. Actually, I have pictures of your 10th anniversary on Signal Hill, and I would have brought them and held them up to the microphone, but I couldn't find them because we're remodeling. But Skid got me to do a 401k. I didn't even know what it was. I heard you mention it earlier. And so I started that in like 1993, and I just checked it before I came down here. I think I put $25,000 in it, and it is worth, no lie, today, it is worth $25,100. And I cannot thank you enough for making that sacrifice and telling me to make that sacrifice as well.
Perhaps I should have told you what sector to put that money in.
Well,
Not in the money market fund that would gain you nothing over these years. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that because the guy that taught me to put money in the 401k was Phil Young. Phil Chalmers Young.
Sure, remember Phil.
Longtime afternoon disc jockey at 61 Country. We call ourselves the Battling Afternoon Brothers. And he just called me after I announced my retirement. Just
from Ireland, right?
He lives in Killarney, Ireland. That was always his dream for his retirement. And I'll be damned if he's been there more than 10 years now, having a great time, just going down to the Irish pub, sitting there, talking, chatting with the guys, and having a good time, and so it works out sometimes.
I can't believe, everyone said I can't believe you're retiring because we all got fired. That's what happens in radio, you get fired. And in media everywhere, newspapers, television, etc. Like, you've been around longer than Gary Lezak and all his dogs, which is saying something. And I've often thought, like, he might be the only guy in the market that will be like you, they'll be able to retire. And then I realized, no, like his dogs, they'll just put him to sleep.
They'll put him down.
And everybody will say, oh, yeah, Gary, he went to a farm and he's much happier there.
I saw him limping and then he was gone.
I also remember another thing about you that still endures to this day, which is that when someone beats a hasty retreat from anywhere, at a party, wherever, you were just talking to them. And suddenly they're gone. You have no idea where they are. And we all say, and Brian knows, or Slacker knows this ahead of me, he pulled a Skid Roadie. Because Skid, we would be in, events, star-studded events, little bar gatherings or whatever, and you'd be talking, and, hey, where's Skid? Well, he's right up. Oh, he's gone. Where'd he go?
And by the time you knew I was gone, I was already home.
Why did you do that?
Well, I'd be out drinking with you guys, and unlike you guys, I knew my limit. So I'd say, oh, hey, I'll be right back, and I'd put my beer down, and I'd go to the bathroom, and I'd be standing there, and I'd be like, oh, no, I got to go.
And he pulled a Skid Roadie.
I would just go.
And there he was.
And it got so bad that I actually, at one point, thought I'd have a fake ring of keys, like that weren't even my real keys, that I could leave on the table by you guys, and I would have a fake telephone, a little cell phone I could leave on the table. So, no, he's obviously here, his cell phone and his keys. Wait, this cell phone is full of candy. This is not a cell phone.
The other thing I remember well, and I didn't learn from you the way I should have, I think it's really interesting because I think you prepared for radio in a way that very few people did. It was more akin to stand-up comedy. And so I think that's why you did so well with the comedians who would come in and we would interview them, and I did miserably with them because you knew how to set them up and you understood their craft because you wrote material for your show. Now, that doesn't mean to imply to all of you out there that Skid was there reading stuff. He was very spontaneous, as you can see right now, quick-witted, etc. But you crafted material for your show, and it didn't come from some prep sheet from some idiot on the East Coast or something. It was your stuff. And I've often thought, yeah, okay, you'll retire a little bit, but you tell me, you do an open mic night somewhere in Florida. You just show up with some material. Tell me you wouldn't.
I got a tight 20.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I could do it.
I got a tight 20.
Sure, why
not? Those are some great memories, too.
That's because I had so much time during the music. I mean, I have, say, 15 minutes before I have to say 30 seconds or 20 seconds. And that was what I always prided myself on was editing. That I could say the most beautiful words and the most beautiful things in the shortest amount of time. And so I would sit there during those songs, and I would think about them, and I would practice it, and I would practice it. And I don't know if you remember, AJ was a guy who was one of our production guys. Sure. And I didn't know that he could punch a button in his office or in his studio, and he could listen to me in my studio, which I'm sure you heard a lot of horrible, whatever. But he goes, I used to listen to you practice. And he goes, you're the only guy I've ever heard practice what he was going to say on the radio. And he said, a lot of these young kids that come into radio now, they make it to Kansas City, they think they got the job, and all they have to do is open that microphone, and everything that's going to come out of their mouth is instantly going to be gold. Everything they say is going right to the Radio and Television Hall of Fame. And he says, you're the only guy I know who actually practiced what he was going to say.
A craftsman. I would absolutely... No, I would agree and commend you for that. And what else do comedians really like? They love it when you remember their material. Here's one of my all-time favorite Skid Roadie lines. Skid would go on vacation, and he'd come back, and everybody'd say, hey, you were in Miami. Did you hear the Big Boppin' 105 in Miami? I hear they're doing crazy things, and it's great. And Skid would be like, no, I didn't go to Miami and listen to the radio. If I were a cobbler, would I go on vacation and watch people make shoes? This is one of the great lines ever. Anyway, I love that line.
Well, anyway, I love you, man.
I love you too, man, and much success. And I really do. I honor the craftsman that you were. I aspired to be something close to what you were. I fell short of the mark.
You went a different way.
But what a great honor it was to work next to you.
Marty Wall, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Heartfelt thank you, Marty Wall, for coming by and saying hi this afternoon. All right. Getting a little misty here, ladies and gentlemen. We're only not even 2 hours into the show. We got still 3 more hours to go. I'll be crying like a baby. So stick around. More of that and more rock and roll, including the 4 o'clock haircut coming up at the top of the hour on 101 The Fox.